Okay, hi and assalamualaikum, and welcome to my weekly Q&A Kuro Santai session. We are live on Facebook and YouTube. Again, every Tuesday jam 8 malam untuk pelbagai Q&A, kawalan berat badan, pemakanan, senaman, and sebarang kemusykilan, pertanyaan kehidupan pun boleh, isu semasa, mental health dan sebagainya. And usually how this works is that anda boleh menggunakan ruangan komen on Facebook and YouTube to mengemukakan any question that you have about anything and everything. And don't worry, as I always mention, this is a safe space, ruangan yang selamat untuk anda bertanya tentang kemusykilan yang perhaps anda ada. And even if you have a personal question for me, which has been topic of the week dalam masa seminggu dua ini, especially on Instagram and TikTok, I do quite enjoy perkongsian perhaps daripada sudut yang berbeza, which is quite refreshing because you dapat bincangkan perhaps perkara-perkara yang berbeza. And yeah, if it's your first time here, welcome to our weekly live Kurus Santai Q&A. And if it's not your first time as well, welcome back. And semoga anda mendapat banyak manfaat daripada perkongsian kita every week, which I personally really enjoy. Yeah. So let me know sekiranya the audio is nice and clear, and kita boleh mulakan kita punya sesi sebentar sahaja lagi. And I do hope also that all of you had a nice and long weekend. Ya, ramai orang pergi mungkin bercuti ke apa. I was in an Ipoh with my family for my daughter's tennis tournament. And we came back on Sunday because wanted to avoid the rush hour going back to KL traffic on Monday pula. Yeah, so let's get going. Yeah, thank you so much for confirming the audio is clear. And again, if you haven't done so yet, please help me to share the live session dengan kawan-kawan seperjuangan. Semoga mereka juga dapat menyertai our session together and perhaps dapat mempelajari sesuatu yang baru. All right, so let me see what we have here. Yeah, Shah Fitri from TikTok. Welcome to our little Q&A session. I have been neglecting TikTok for many years. I was not really sure what to do with TikTok, and because I didn't want to do, I don't know, I was not into the whole dancing and perhaps content that I personally would not do myself. So I was ignoring TikTok for a while, and I was not sure whether I am too old ke apa untuk join a new platform perhaps. So I kept sort of keeping it in my view, but not really doing anything about it until I think bulan June, July tahun ini, where I just sort of tried and post shorter videos. Dunia video tu agak panjang, and then lately videos are becoming shorter and shorter and shorter, which I struggled with initially because change is not easy, kan? But since June, July, I've been very, very happy that I get to sort of do one video for Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram, and sort of menggunakannya across all the platforms. It makes my life a lot easier. And I'm really happy as well that the content on TikTok is meaningful and memberi manfaat kepada ramai orang juga. All right, so let me see what we have here. Yeah, in no particular priority, I usually go from top to down. So the faster you bertanya soalan, the higher the kebarangkalian that I will quote-unquote petik your question. Keep your questions seboleh-bolehnya as ringkas as possible supaya the jawapan can be as cepat as possible and as specific as possible juga. But again, there's no right and wrong question. Jangan risau sekiranya the soalan is A, B, C, or D. Yeah, don't worry. Okay, daripada Nuna or Nu Alif, daripada Facebook, saya suka minum air kosong. Ramai cakap sebab saya minum air ais, perut buncit macam mengandung 5 bulan, stres. Saya tak minum air manis, hanya minum seminggu segelas. Air ais tidak membuncitkan perut kau yang membuncitkannya is penambahan berat badan yang berlebihan, and the ais batu tu tidaklah membekukan lemak perut. That is mitos. Kalaulah lemak tu is terbeku sementara, tak ke mana juga lemak itu, and perhaps the penampilan perut yang agak buncit itu is disebabkan minum air yang ada isi padu untuk sementara. So there will be a bit of isi padu yang terperangkap perhaps pada bahagian perut sebelum ia dihadamkan. But then when you wake up the next day, dah diproses dan taklah sebuncit macam malam pertama. So again, ais tidak membuncitkan, membekukan lemak perut anda. Beres? Beres. Alright, that's a very good question. Let's move forward daripada Wan Maisara. Hi Kevin, hi. Ini soalan daripada suami saya. Kevin, you have an impressive result academically. To be a holistic and effective person, what are the 3 most important soft skills that everyone should have, especially for youngsters? Now, it's a very, very good question. I can only speak from my own personal experience. I think soft skills are extremely penting. So number 1 for me, komunikasi sangat penting. Seseorang tu perlu mahir untuk berkomunikasi dengan pelbagai lapisan masyarakat. And when it's soal berkomunikasi, tak semestinya soal bahasa Inggeris or bahasa Melayu. Kalau boleh ada kedua-duanya itu lagi bagus. But perlu ada keberanian dan kemahiran untuk berkomunikasi dengan sesiapa supaya hasrat dan niat kita boleh disampaikan untuk memajukan diri. Because as pandai as you are dalam bidang akademik, kalau tak pandai untuk, communicate kepandaian anda dengan orang ramai, then susah. So that brings me to number 2. Soft skill yang kedua is perlu ada keyakinan diri. And I know dalam kebudayaan kita di Malaysia, Asia, we have this rendah diri, jangan angkuh, jangan berlagak, but ia perlu bertempat. There has to be a time when you angkat bakul diri sendiri untuk berdepan dengan cabaran. There has to be a time where you angkat bakul diri sendiri untuk menyumbang kepada masyarakat. Because if you have a lot of kebolehan, but you tak berani untuk menonjolkannya kepada orang ramai, then again tak kesampaian. So it goes hand in hand dengan the angkat bakul and komunikasi work hand in hand untuk menyampaikan kepakaran dan kebolehan diri kita untuk menyumbang kepada masyarakat. And nombor 3, the soft skill, again in no particular order, another soft skill yang rasa is penting is to perlu elak rasa malu untuk mencuba sesuatu. I'm not sure whether that qualifies as a soft skill ke tidak, but it's important to know kelemahan diri, to know kekuatan diri, and tak rasa malu untuk menonjolkan kelemahan. Contohnya myself, dalam bidang akademik di sekolah, I lemah dalam bab agama Islam, lemah dalam bab bahasa Malaysia. So I acknowledge, I angkat tangan, bagi tahu cikgu, saya tak pandai pendidikan Islam, tak pandai mengaji, tak pandai baca Quran, kurang pengetahuan, supaya tak perlu menyembunyikan diri takut ditanya soalan oleh cikgu. So it's okay to acknowledge kelemahan diri, angkat tangan, inform the teacher, I need help, supaya orang pula boleh menghulurkan bantuan kepada kita. There is no need to berasa malu. Kita ada kelemahan, semua orang ada kelemahan. So again, perhaps another soft skill yang penting is awareness. Perlu ada kesedaran bahawa kita semua ada pros and cons, kekuatan dan kelemahan. Cannot just angkat bakul dengan kekuatan yang ada, but perlu sedar kelemahan yang ada pada diri kita. Angkat tangan, minta pertolongan supaya orang lain boleh menyumbangkan dan menghulurkan that help. I'll give you an example. When I was in sekolah menengah, especially the MRSM, I was not good at bab mengaji, but I want to do well dalam SPM pendidikan Islam. So I informed my ustazah kesayangan di sana Ustazah Ainun yang begitu banyak membantu diri saya because I was honest with her tentang kelemahan dan latar belakang diri saya dan meminta bantuan beliau. So di antara perkara yang beliau lakukan untuk saya is to always make me membaca surah pada permulaan kelas agama. Now you can look at it as macam hukuman kau, Cik Kevin, asyik-asyik kau kena baca. Why always me yang kena baca surah Al-Quran? But I looked at it as Ustazah Ainun ingin membantu saya untuk memperkasakan dan membaiki bacaan. So that tekanan kehidupan membantu atau memaksa diri saya untuk mengaji sebelum kelas apakah surah yang akan datang, practice supaya once saya dipanggil untuk membacanya, saya membaca. And kalau salah, salahlah and orang akan membetulkannya, but there should not be a rasa malu untuk cuba membaiki diri, especially bila ia melibatkan perkara yang positif. So again, there are a lot of different soft skills yang rasa penting, but for most students, it's the communication and the keyakinan diri to menjual diri bila berdepan dengan interview untuk sekolah ke, beasiswa ke, apa ke. The exam results is a given. Everybody has good results on paper, but kebolehan tu menjual diri kepada pihak interviewer untuk pelbagai perkara is sesuatu yang you cannot baca from a book. You have to go out there and get the experience, and you have to know what to do, what to say, how to look people in the eye. Eye contact is sangat-sangat penting juga. Ramai orang macam again talk but they look down, which again communicates non-verbally, mungkin kurang yakin as well. So yeah, keberanian and kebolehan to communicate, angkat baku diri sendiri, malu bertempat and macam-macam are extremely important soft skills yang kalau boleh digabungkan dengan kebolehan akademik. Yeah, thank you, Maisara. All the best to you and your family. Ya, Abdul Salam, betul kalau pagi kita nak buat heavy training dalam 5 ke 6 jam cycling, malam kita kena carbo loading heavy juga. Dan apa makanan yang sesuai untuk carbo loading untuk malam itu, nasi kandar boleh ke? Now, carbo loading is a trick to sort of make the body store more carbohydrates and more air. Always remember, the body cannot store carbohydrates tanpa air. So the more carbohydrates you store, the more air akan disimpan pada masa yang sama. And when you have a long endurance race, running ke, berbasikal ke apa, those are the two things yang you perlukan terutamanya, which is the tenaga, your carbohydrates, and your air untuk hydration. So a lot of ultra runners and long distance athletes do is they do carbo loading, di mana mungkin 2, 3, 4 hari sebelum the acara mereka mengelak makanan yang berkarbohidrat, elak pasta, elak cereal, elak nasi, elak buah untuk again suppress the carbohydrate insulin levels. And then once the insulin tu is dropped because tak ada carbohydrates dah, dia menanti kepulangan carbohydrate itu, and then the malam or the hari sebelum you buat the larian, you kembalikan semula the carbohydrates, pasta ke, cereal ke, nasi ke apa, then the insulin will spike lebih tinggi lagi because dia takut tak dapat lagi. So then your body will store extra carbohydrates and extra water untuk dipergunakan nanti pada your long endurance run or bike. Yeah, so hope that helps you. Abdul Salam boleh mencubanya and ask those who are experienced perhaps in your group to memberikan tunjuk ajak. Alright. La. Ya, kombi al-komba. Kevin, you tak nak buat workout online ke? I used to do a lot of online workouts during the PKP lockdown. I still do a lot of online home workouts for our community di bukansoalkurus.com, which I meluangkan every week dalam at least 1, 2, 3 sesi kekadangnya, and that does not give a lot more ruang untuk dan buat workout untuk Facebook, Instagram pula. But ya, niat nawai tu sentiasa ada. Kadang-kadang tu masa kurang mengizinkan. As of right now, I can dedicate time for a weekly live chat sebegini. And yeah, mana lah tahu in the future I have more time to do a weekly live home workout di Facebook ataupun platform yang lain. I've been meaning to go live on TikTok and Instagram as well, but for now I'm using StreamYard as a platform yang can multicast it to a few platforms. But on TikTok and Instagram, there's no direct integration, and I don't want to have 2 or 3 cameras to look at. But I hope in the future that they work it out so that I just have to use one platform to sort of push the live session kepada semua platform. I'm sure they'll figure it out dalam masa setahun dua. Yeah. Okay. Isma, Assalamualaikum. Waalaikumsalam. Saya pesakit slip disc. Apakah senaman yang sesuai untuk saya? Okay, kalau saya pergi ke gym untuk senaman berat. Now, this is a common question, and it's totally okay. If you have mana-mana penyakit, slip disc dan sebagainya, it's very difficult for me to sort of generalize it, one nasihat untuk semua jenis pesakit slip disc, because everybody punya tempat lain-lain, recovery lain-lain, the severity lain-lain. So my advice as your coach and as your friend, I would recommend you to rujuk kepada your doctor, your physician, or your physiotherapist to give you an idea of where is your slip disc keadaan sekarang ini, what is the thing that you are allowed to do sekarang, and how long perhaps you perlu menunggu sebelum kembalikan diri ke dunia senaman. And if your doctor says, Isma, you can mulakan senaman sekarang ini, ask him or her specifically, doctor, apakah jenis senaman yang saya boleh jalankan sekarang? Adakah ia senaman yang berimpact? No, non-impact tinggi. Bolehkah saya berbasikal? Bolehkah saya berenang? Bolehkah saya ke gym? Bolehkah treadmill, bolehkah berlari? Kebelakangan yang besar, they will not allow you to do senaman yang berimpact tinggi, yang will put a lot of strain on your tulang belakang. And gym generally would be okay as long as you tak melibatkan beban yang terlalu berat that puts on too much pressure on your tulang belakang sekali lagi. But again, long story short, Isma, you check with your doctor terlebih dahulu supaya tak melakukan perkara yang lagi memudaratkan keadaan. Captain, yeah, I have not posted your before after picture yet. I apologize. Captain is here every week. Ya, sangat menghargai ketekunan beliau, and he is an amazing kisah kejayaan kurangkan berat badan out of many people in our program. And I have to post your picture. InsyaAllah, I will do it secepat mungkin. Thank you so much kerana sudi bersama dengan kita setiap minggu. Yeah, so your question is, Assalamualaikum salam. Just nak tahu pandangan coach, apakah kesedaran orang Malaysia terhadap healthy lifestyle sekarang? Jangkaan saya untuk generasi akan datang pula bagaimana? Very good question. Now, kesedaran kesihatan, kesedaran kepentingan kesihatan, kawalan berat badan untuk orang ramai, saya tak ada masalah. Everybody sedar tentang kepentingan jaga makan, aktifkan diri. I think that's not the issue, but we live in a world di mana orang makin sibuk, makin stres, makin kurang bergerak. So all of these things lagi menggandakan masalah. And malangnya, not just di Malaysia, di seluruh dunia, masalah obesity makin meluas. And there was a kajian by the World Health Organization menunjukkan peningkatan peratusan masalah obesity daripada 80-an sampailah sekarang. I don't remember the exact numbers, but ia berganda-ganda. Jadi masalah obesity is not hanya masalah kita di Malaysia, walaupun kita negara yang paling obes di Asia, but ia adalah masalah yang meluas di seluruh dunia, termasuk dengan kanak-kanak. Childhood obesity makin meluas as well. And the good news, di samping berita yang kurang baik, is that it begins with us. It begins with you, it begins with me, and it begins with my family. And pengaruh yang kita ada terhadap masyarakat tersendiri. Doesn't have to be beribu orang, but even if it's a small keluarga nukleus, ya, dua dewasa, dua anak, start small to make sure that you, your wife, your husband, and your kids tidak tergolong dalam mereka yang berdepan dengan masalah obesity. So that is what we are fighting for dalam kempen Bukan Soal Kurus, our NGO dengan sekolah dan seterusnya, supaya the next generation of Malaysians tidak berdepan dengan masalah yang sama, but ia bermula di bangku sekolah dan ia bermula di rumah sendiri juga. Sukar bagi saya untuk mengubah tabiat yang telah diasah 10-20 tahun, yang kurang aktif, kurang sihat, kurang bersenam, tiba-tiba di alam dewasa. So hence again we are trying untuk fix the problem daripada bangku sekolah lagi, but cakap is very easy. Perjuangan itu sangat besar, but yeah, great things are not meant to be easy. Alright, let's see. Daripada LK, hari ini asyik lalu iklan coklat kurus kat FB wall I. Makan coklat boleh turun berat badan, tapi I agak risau bila baca kat ruangan komen iklan tu, ada yang dah cuba makan, rasa mulut dan badan rasa kering daripada biasa. But ramai yang excited, yang berjaya turun berat sampai 8 kilo 2 minggu bila makan coklat kurus tu. Jangan terpedaya dengan mana-mana iklan produk kurus. Coklat kurus tak boleh mengurangkan berat badan anda dengan sewenang-wenangnya. Kalau begitu mudah, semua orang dah kurus. And I guarantee you, if you tak jaga makan, tak aktifkan diri, hanya makan coklat kurus itu, forget about it. Now, why does the chocolate tu mengeringkan mulut ke apa? Is generally because dia mengandungi mungkin, I don't know ya, mungkin dia mengandungi caffeine, guarana, Garcinia cambogia, or green tea extract yang is diuretic, yang membuang air daripada badan. So if you lose 8 kilo 2 minggu, as you say, that is air. It is not lemak you. Air memang mudah dipermainkan dengan coffee, green tea extract, guarana, dan sebagainya. But the thing is, it will not be sustainable minggu ke minggu, and lama kelamaan the water will come back, and then you will blame nate coklat kurus tu, padahal it's not the fault of the coklat kurus, it is salah pihak pengguna. Kadang-kadang dipergunakan dengan iklan produk tersebut. Jangan terpedaya. Can you melanggan coklat kurus? Suka hati kau. Is it going to berjaya mengurangkan berat badan anda dengan sewenang-wenangnya tanpa jaga makan and tanpa active lifestyle? No. Can you kurangkan berat badan dengan pemakanan, dengan active lifestyle tanpa coklat kurus? Yes. But if you gabungkan ketiga-tiganya, mungkin lebih cepat. Maybe. But it's never about the product. It's always supplement. Supplement is to mengisi, to supplement kekurangan yang ada, jika ada, but it is not keutamaan. Jangan terpedaya. Alright, David Lau, last session you mentioned muscle and fat grow and lose at the same time, but at times I feel like only stomach part is growing fat. Now, just to recap, what we talked about last week is that you cannot just lose muscle without gaining, you cannot just lose lemak during a weight loss journey and not lose otot at the same time. Similarly, when you menambah berat badan, it's usually gabungan lemak, otot, and air. So when you lose weight pun, it's gabungan ketiga-tiga juga. But when you menambah or mengurangkan lemak, weight loss or weight gain, where it happens is sesuka hati badan kau. That is where you have genetic badan buah yang pelbagai. For some body types, they store the fat more in the lower body, some in the upper body, some in the muka, some in the arm. So that is genetic masing-masing. The key is to keep on going kalau dari segi weight loss, so that over time the weight loss happens secara menyeluruh, including bahagian yang mungkin lebih stubborn, termasuk lemak perut. All right, la 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 la. Now, welcome again to our weekly Q&A santai kurus session bersama dengan saya. We have sebarang pertanyaan. Always welcome to gunakan ruangan komen untuk bertanya about anything and everything. No right question or wrong question, and I will do my best to try and answer the question dengan seringkas possible. Okay, daripada Mozarilan Muhammad, salam coach, which is better for fat loss, cardio training, weight training, or HIIT training? My advice is do all three. Yeah, don't focus on A, B, or C. First, maybe tepuk dada and tanya selera, which one do you enjoy the most? But for me, the best senaman always is kebelakangan. And you can do cardio, you can do weight training or HIIT. In our program, Mozarilan, we've had pelbagai kisah kejayaan kurangkan berat badan, including kurangkan lemak badan from brisk walking, badminton, HIIT, Zumba, hiking, gym. There is no one senaman that is the best for all. The best senaman for me is kebelakangan. So you have to sort of tanya selera, tepuk dada, and see which one works best for you and which one you enjoy the most. Because if you do cardio sahaja, lama-lama mungkin boring. For some, cardio sahaja may be best. So again, it depends on the individual to menentukan hala tuju masing-masing. La 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 la. Hi coach, hi. Hi one. Comment sedikit. Micro workout untuk muscle building and strength gain. Upper variation exercise favorite saya. Now, I personally like weight training. So go back to the question tentang cardio, weight training, or HIIT. I don't like cardio. I do it just untuk kecergasan cardiovascular. I do high intensity interval training for my life home workouts dengan our community. Because that one is the easiest to do. Tak perlu melibatkan peralatan yang canggih. But I personally work out on my own. I like to go to the gym. Just dekat bawah apartment je, apartment gym sahaja, percuma kau. And I like weight training. And I do a combination of compound movements, isolation movements, functional strength. But I like the idea of throwing weights around. Makes me feel happy. Don't know why. I've been doing it for 20 tahun lebih. But even that, walaupun dia senaman weight training, there is a lot of kepelbagaian dalam the pelaksanaan sesi senaman supaya ia tidak membosankan both mentally and physically. Yeah, and comba again. Kevin, macam mana nak start workout? Apa yang perlu dibuat, diet pemakanan dahulu, and then baru start workout, or vice versa, or just start with both without workout and diet straight away. Now, my advice is first, don't wait. Make sure that you angkat tangan, start your journey, but biar dia berpanduan or berpengetahuan, which is what we focus on a lot in our program, bukansoalkurus.com. Yang new program will start in November nanti. It's a month-to-month program, and it's full of education. Because if niat kau ada, istiqamah ada, but the ilmu tu tak ada, then hasil tu kadang-kadang is not seperti mana yang diharapkan. And my job in the program is really to menanamkan the ilmu pengetahuan, manage your expectation, because ramai orang join nak kurus semalam kalau boleh. So a lot of this stigma, kurus cepat, 8 kilo 2 minggu and all creates false expectation, which menekankan seseorang untuk menjayakannya, padahal it's not seperti mana yang mereka harapkan. So we always focus on the sustainability of the journey. Always remember this, kejayaan, and I always say this in our program, kejayaan mana-mana bidang, pembelajaran, kekeluargaan, kewangan, kerjaya, pemakanan, kawalan berat badan, it's not about what you do dalam masa sebulan. It is about consistency, disiplin yang berpanjangan untuk mencapai matlamat masing-masing. But you cannot squeeze a journey yang takes, let's say, setahun, 2 tahun in sebulan 2 sahaja. It creates so much stress and false expectation. that will lead to a lot of disappointment, and eventually you putus asa. So it's important to manage expectation dengan ilmu yang ada, rancangan yang bagus, to be consistent and teruskan perjuangan untuk jangka masa yang berpanjang. Yes, communication, self-confidence, and self-awareness. Yeah, you are welcome. You know, soft skills is not really something you can quote unquote teach. You can buy a book on how to communicate, how to do public speaking, how to do this, how to do that. But for me, the best way to learn soft skills is to go out and do. Go out and cuba, and it does not always work out pada permulaannya, but life is the best teacher kadangnya when it comes to benda like soft skills, because it is real and it is easy. It can be as easy as getting my kids to go and pay for the bill, or ordering something. It teaches them to communicate with someone in a commercial setting. The kira duit, so it's real, and tak perlu baca buku sepenuhnya, but ia also memperkukuhkan pengajaran sekolah dengan kehidupan sebenar dari segi kawalan kewangan, communication, mutual respect, dan seterusnya. Yeah, Afiq, hi. First time meet you in live. Yeah, you are welcome to our live session every Tuesday. Usually a lot of the content that you see on video kata-kata is from live. So usually I will cut segment from here. So I kill two birds with one stone, which makes my life a lot easier as well. Yeah, I'm gonna see what else you have here. Okay. Daripada Nazruddin, Kevin Zahri is a well-known fitness brand in Malaysia. Where to from here? Your fitness program, etc. Not sure what you mean by where to from here. Oh, where to from here. So mungkin daripada sini nak ke mana? Wallahualam, I am a person yang ada banyak rancangan, banyak plan A, plan B, plan C. Even currently I'm doing beberapa perkara yang all sangkut paut dengan industri kecergasan, senaman, kawalan berat badan. But I also have impian yang berbeza, to do maybe photography, to be a tennis coach. So I have simple dreams in life, nothing complicated. And yeah, it's always good to have backup plans for the things that you want to pursue. And I went to MRSM in Malacca recently, and I gave a session to the sharing to the students there. And one boy, he came to me after the talk, and he asked me, Mr. Kevin, I don't understand why I'm here. I don't know why. He spoke English. I don't know what is the purpose of me learning all of these things, because I want to be a gamer. I want to be a e-sport gamer. That's my goal in life. And he asked me, what must he tell himself in order to focus on the education, which he does not see the relevance of. This is MRSM. These are all smart kids, generally speaking. So they have a good grasp of academics. And I told him this: I never wanted to be an engineer. I studied engineering in university, but I never, ever wanted to be an engineer in life. Never did I imagine I want to be an engineer. I always looked at engineering and education as a backup plan. So if my actual plan in life, which is to quote unquote wake up every morning and do whatever I want to do, does not work out, at least I have a good professional educational background, engineering, to have a plan B or C in case plan A does not work out. So I approach life in that way as well. I look at what do I really want, but I allow the journey to be very lebar supaya tak mudah untuk kecewa. And you can apply this untuk perjuangan kurangkan berat badan juga. When people join our program, they only make it about losing weight, weight loss, berapa kilo, la 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 la. I tell them that goal is too narrow. It creates so much room for disappointment, you must melebarkan your matlamat supaya it's not just about angka berat badan, but it's about kekuatan, kegembiraan, ukhuwah, kecergasan, kelenturan, feel good, body image, strength, so many things that you boleh raih kan. But if you only make your matlamat satu and one and only, kalau dapat memang terbaik kau, but kebarangkalian besar, life is not that fair. So it's always important for me to have options, have variables supaya I can at least melebarkan kebarangkalian that I will be berjaya, because berjaya is a subjective phrase that is meaningful to me and only me. You don't know what makes me rasa berjaya. I don't know what makes you rasa berjaya. Doesn't have to be just soal angka berat badan, jumlah A, jumlah wang, jumlah follower. All of those things are quite superficial kekadangnya, but happiness is kejayaan kehidupan, and I always feel dia merangkumi berbagai perkara. Alright, Nadia, waalaikumsalam. Saya nak tanya, kenapa berat badan susah sangat nak turun? Dah kontrol makan, tapi berat badan masih sama, makin stres dibuatnya. It's hard to answer your question, Nadia, because I do not know exactly what you mean by control makan. Ramai orang will always say this, Cik Kevin, saya tak makan banyak, saya control ni, saya control tu, but I cannot really acknowledge because I cannot quantify what you mean by control makan. Because what we do in our program, Bukan Soal Kurus Again, and what we do is we help you to quantify keperluan diri supaya when you mengawal sesuatu, it's betul-betul berdasarkan kepada keperluan supaya you tak menganggar. Because when you menganggar keperluan, seolah-olah you menganggar perbelanjaan wang, tak tahu income sebulan tu berapa, it's hard to mengawal kewangan. But if you know income you berapa, know how much you spend, then mudah untuk mengawal kewangan. So we teach our peserta how to mengenal pasti kedua-duanya supaya the istilah mengawal pemakanan, kurang makanan, lebih makanan is not just a subjective word, but has istilah yang lebih tepat. Nadia, if you haven't joined us yet, please do so. Pendaftaran belum buka lagi for our November program. It will start insyaAllah dalam masa sehari dua ini. La 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 la. Dengar ini lagi baik daripada dengar ahli politik. I try not to take too much interest in politics these days. And I know something big is happening. I just found out this afternoon. I spoke to one of my friends this afternoon, and dia yang bagi tahu I do interface with politics because we do collaborate with KBS and KKM and KPM, those three ministries terutamanya. But yeah, politics in Malaysia, what I don't like, and I'm going to say this very carefully, I don't like about politics in Malaysia that is always about the individuals more so than the institution. And I give you an example. There was this peristiwa once upon a time where there was an airport in Singapore yang di mana bila kapalnya nak mendarat ala-ala akan melalui ruangan udara di Johor, di Malaysia. And it was an issue at the time. Fine. So there was a statement daripada Singapore and statement from Malaysia. The Singapore statement read, the Ministry of Transportation said la 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 la. Then the Malaysian one, or the Minister YB Datuk la la la. So I always feel the Malaysian politics makes it about the individual, the politician, and we give this person so much limelight that every politician wants to find the minute of fame and ruangan in the surat khabar, because we sensationalize or we mengangkatkan their name instead of the institution that they represent. So olah-olah dia lebih penting daripada the ministry itu sendiri. So I find that we're teaching the politicians the wrong thing, because then every politician always wants to find the launching ceremony lah, inilah, itulah, to get their name out there. But it becomes very noisy and very messy. I wish they had a law where they cannot sort of menonjolkan diri dengan nama diri, but just work behind the scenes. But yeah, it is what it is. Just pandangan diri saya. Okay, how to learn English or score in English subject. I am not a native English speaker. I didn't speak any English until I was 12. I only spoke German, 100%. Only when I came to Malaysia, everybody sort of thought that I must be able to speak English well, but I didn't know how. But because orang semua macam mengharapkan I speak English well, I pun yakin lah and just blasa aja and seolah-olah macam tahu what I say. So I learned speaking English just by speaking dengan yakinnya. Kalau salah-salah, kalau betul-betul. And same thing how I learned bahasa Malaysia juga. I learned by mencuba and orang akan membetulkannya jika salah. And there is no rasa malu because kita lakukan benda yang baik, bukannya benda yang jahat. So even today, nowadays, I will say things wrong, or I'm not sure what this word means, or I am pronouncing it salah, and people around me will membetulkannya. And I always find that sweet. I always find that nice because it also shows them that I am not quote unquote perfect. Nobody is, and it gives them sense of power over me that they help me as much as I help them because it's not about me, you, but it's about us. So it's about I help you, you help me, and as long as people know how to help you, ada je ramai yang akan ingin menghulurkan bantuan. And if you are in an environment di mana mereka tidak menghulurkan that bantuan, not everybody is kind in this world. And I know di sekolah in Malaysia, when I was in Malaysian school, everybody spoke to me in English and menerima I to speak in English because they looked at me as masalih celup, must be able to speak English, must know how to speak English. It's okay, Kevin can speak English. But if my friend Fauzi wants to speak English, kau poyo lah, kau sangat, kau belagak lah. So there will be orang-orang macam tu. So what? Let them be. Yeah, does not mean you have to practice the language with them. Carilah orang-orang yang are not like that, yang menyokong perjuangan anda supaya you can learn from them bersama. So persekitaran itu sangat penting. And if you are dalam persekitaran yang kurang membina, whether it is English, kawalan berat badan, merokok ke apa, you have to be aware that, hey, I am not in the right environment. I need to mengeluarkan diri. Dan mengeluarkan dirilah, not easy, I know, will take time and requires some usaha and consistency and discipline. But then carilah community that menyokong perjuangan anda. It's the same with our Bukan Soal Kurus program. It is effective and impactful because ia disertai oleh orang-orang yang mempunyai harapan yang sama, masalah yang sama, and perjuangan yang sama juga. So English, it's the same thing as well. I always found it a bit sad when I went to the US and I met with Malaysian students that all of them sort of hang around together. It's easy, but it makes it hard to learn the language, English, because you're always surrounded by persekitaran yang berbahasa Malaysia and tidak ada keperluan untuk berbahasa Inggeris. The best way to learn a language is to throw yourself in the middle of it all. I learned bahasa Malaysia by going to a government school, asrama dan sebagainya, and you have to learn, like it or not. But if you are sering dikelilingi orang yang berbahasa Malaysia, there is no keperluan to berbahasa Inggeris. There is no keperluan to berbahasa lain daripada bahasa Malaysia because it's macam pelik pula cakap dengan kau dengan dalam bahasa Inggeris because muka kau Titi, Ahmad, and Fauzi and all. So you have to tempatkan diri in an environment where you have to speak the language, then baru you akan mempelajarinya. And it's the same reason expats, foreigners, never learn bahasa Malaysia. You can have a foreigner datang Malaysia, 10 tahun, never speaks bahasa Malaysia. I live in Mongkiara, here banyak expats, they never learn bahasa Malaysia. Why? Because the surroundings tak memaksa mereka berbahasa Malaysia. Everybody speaks to them in English pula. So they have no need to learn. Sayang, they rugi besar. And they never really integrate with the environment, the culture, because everybody conforms to them. I always feel should be the other way around. We have to make them speak Bahasa Malaysia. All the billboards should be in Bahasa Malaysia. Everything should be in Bahasa Malaysia. Bahasa Malaysia should be diagungkan as ibu bahasa di Malaysia. But we say so, but we don't really do so because everything sort of is in bahasa Inggeris, which makes it quote unquote hard for orang luar untuk belajar the language. Okay, let me move on to next question. La 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 la. Ya, salam Najmi. Waalaikumsalam. Apakah pendapat coach majoriti rakyat Malaysia obese sehingga orang yang obese dianggap normal? Yeah, I spoke about this earlier just now as well. It's not great and it should not be the norm, but it goes back to the persekitaran. If everybody around you looks agak lebih kurang sama, you accept that as normal. And if your environment tiba-tiba berubah, everybody around you pula katakanlah cergas, naturally you will have to conform because otherwise you will feel diasingkan and isolated. So ya, tempatkan diri dalam tempat yang sehaluan dengan harapan seseorang itu penting. Yeah, tomorrow we have a Kahoot quiz tomorrow. Berdoa je lah masing-masing. Soalan-soalan Kahoot kami will of course merangkumi pelbagai aspek daripada our program as always. Yeah, good luck tomorrow. Ya, Umi, waalaikumsalam. Macam mana nak kecilkan saiz lengan buncit saya bersenam dah lama belum nampak kurus. Now again, you cannot just mengurangkan lemak pada satu bahagian semata-mata. The way your body menyimpan membakar lemak is sesuka hati dia. So if you have lengan yang agak kelawar tsunami, kurangkan berat badan jika perlu. But if dia agak tsunami, that is actually more of air mengalir, water flows. That is lebih kepada kemahiran mengawal water retention badan. Drink more water, kurang garam, more fiber, less sugar, lemon detox, probiotics ke apa, untuk mengurangkan water retention secara umumnya. Beres? Beres. All right. La 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 la. Okay, let me try. We have another 10 minutes or so. Yeah, very, very interesting today. I like soalan yang lain daripada yang lain. But again, there is no right or wrong question today. Yeah, I'm going to scroll down a little bit to see whether there's any questions yang perhaps a bit different. Let me see. Okay. Paulo Arnold, good evening coach, good evening. Apa kita nak respond dekat kawan-kawan yang selalu cakap orang yang bersenam exercise pun ramai tumbang kena heart attack etc. That is actually true. Now, there was a study that said a couch potato yang tak bersenam versus a marathon runner. The marathon runner is lebih tinggi kebarangkalian untuk berdepan dengan serangan jantung versus si couch potato. And this is an example of life di mana people take the extreme kiri kanan, hitam putih, halal and haram sebagai contoh, which I don't recommend. Now, reason why, you kena bayangkan kereta Ferrari Formula 1 is extreme marathon and kereta yang tak bergerak mana-mana. Of course, kereta si Formula 1 will berdepan stres and tekanan yang tinggi semasa prestasi, and kebarangkalian besar will berdepan dengan kerosakan yang lebih cepat. It's normal, it's natural, more stress, yeah, versus kereta yang tak buat apa. But my advice, don't live here, don't live there, live somewhere tengah-tengah, because si couch potato nak buat apa, nak bergerak pun agak susah, stress, and don't have to follow the Formula One way of doing things. But my advice is follow the wasat, ya, somewhere dalam kesederhanaan kehidupan, supaya you are lebih sehat, lebih aktif berbanding dengan seorang couch potato, but you are not as berisiko tinggi seperti kereta Formula One yang of course mempunyai objectivity yang sangat berbeza. Beres? Beres. Yeah, good question. But I hope that answer helps you to berdepan dengan kawan-kawan yang mungkin loyal buruk sikit. Liz Nelson, hi Coach Kevin. Coach, are there any TV program at this moment? If no, would you do any? What topic would you focus on? I get invited a lot over the years to do guest speaker for TV1, MHI, Wanita Hari Ini, Astro Awani. I've done so many over the years. At the beginning, I guess teruja untuk menyertainya. Lama-kelamaan over the years, now especially if you ask my team, whenever there's undangan untuk kerancangan TV sebagai tetamu untuk mengulas, I always pass it to other coaches, because I know that number one, it will mean so much more to them to go on TV and to share their kepakaran versus me. And yeah, that's really the main reason why, if there was undangan yang I rasa berbaloi untuk disertai, I would, but I decline more than I accept, because I've been doing it for so long already, and I'd rather pass it on to people in my team untuk get the experience, supaya ia dapat membantu mendepankan kerjaya mereka pada masa yang sama juga. La 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 la. Okay, let me see what else we have. Maybe one or two more questions. Maybe scroll down a little bit. Ya, daripada YouTube. Ya, YouTube. Waalaikumsalam. Bila masa yang sesuai nak ukur berat badan? Pagi sebelum makan, petang selepas workout, malam sebelum tidur, memandangkan hari Sabtu ini timbang yang terakhir. Now, waktu timbang berat badan yang paling ringan and paling konsisten is first thing in the morning, sebelum you makan, sebelum you minum, selepas you buang air kecil. That is keadaan yang paling ringan and paling konsisten. Beres? Beres. Selalu dengar. So, nak dengar Kevin cakap German boleh. Ja, mein Name ist Kevin Zahri. Ich bin geboren in Hamburg. Ich bin jetzt 43 Jahre alt, lebe hier in Kuala Lumpur, habe gerade eine Live-Session hier auf Facebook und bin ganz glücklich, dass ihr alle hier sind. Ja. So what that means basically is, I'm sure you get it. Yeah, I am XYZ old, live here, and I'm really happy that you guys are all here during my Facebook live talk. My German is okay, but karat sikit. It's the same karat like my father experienced dengan bahasa Melayu di Jerman dulunya. So when he came back to Malaysia, walaupun beliau seseorang yang memang lahir dan memang besar di Malaysia, agak karat, because you start to think in German in Germany, and you start to always speak in German. The pergerakan lidah tu is a bit berbeza. And if I am in Germany, it takes me about seminggu dua to sort of get back into the thinking in German and bertutur dengan agak lincah. But again, it's normal. It's just a bit rusty. All right, la 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 la. Ya, sepatah pun tak faham. That's okay. That's okay. Okay, maybe one more last question di sini. Ya, Intan Raihana. Darah tinggi, macam mana nak mula diet? Nak mula dari mana, saya tak tahu. Now, sekiranya anda berdepan dengan high blood pressure or masalah darah tekanan tinggi, if I were you, number one is I would go to the doctor dulu untuk mengenal pasti the severity of my masalah, kiranya ia agak borderline or quite severe, supaya saya tidak melakukan senaman, because senaman will lagi menggelorakan darah, supaya senaman yang sekiranya ingin dilibatkan bersama tidak lagi membawa masalah yang diharapkan. And if dibenarkan bersenam, start slow and steady. Wear a heart rate monitor untuk again memantau kadar degupan jantung supaya tidak terlalu tinggi. Elak senaman yang berimpak tinggi where everything starts to move up and down. And yeah, just aktifkan diri dulu and mengkurangkan garam daripada diet seboleh-bolehnya. And when I say kurangkan, does not mean elak 100%. It just means kurangkan garam, because garam ni squeezes more air into your pipe darah. So once you have more and more garam in your diet, it will try and squeeze more and more and more air into your pipe yang agak fix jaraknya, and it will tingkatkan tekanan. So kurangkan garam, bit more fiber, take it langkah demi langkah. And again, feel free to join our next cabaran in November yang disertai oleh ramai peserta yang punyai again masalah yang sama, harapan yang sama, and ingin belajar bersama juga. Alright, I think it's all that we have. And one more, last one. Coach Kevin, apabila kita dalam program nak kurus dengan sihat, tapi kita di-condemn oleh surrounding dengan orang yang tak berminat nak kurus, how should we act dengan orang macam ni? You don't have to react at all. Those people have nothing to do really dengan your perjuangan. If you nak mengaktifkan diri, nak kurangkan berat badan, you have to either lakukannya sendirian dulu or tempatkan diri dengan orang-orang yang again sehaluan and sehati sejiwa. You cannot memaksa orang di keliling anda untuk menyokong usaha anda. It's not fair because it is your journey. If they menyokong anda, great. If they menghentam anda, it's suka hati mereka. Your job is to memperjuangkan perjuangan diri. But if you sendiri kejap buat, kejap tak buat, kejap buat, kejap tak buat. If you macam cheap small style, then you fuel their fire untuk get you to quit because your track record is kejap buat, kejap tak, kejap ya, kejap tidak. So don't fuel their fire dengan inconsistency, but shut them up by teruskan your perjuangan, istiqamah, stay consistent, stay disciplined, jangka masa yang berpanjangan. Lama-kelamaan, they will stop saying anything. Malah mereka akan melihat, wow, ya, Nur Haslina tekun and kekal dalam perjuangan senaman kurang kawalan berat badan beliau. Malah mereka akan mendekati anda untuk ingin mengetahui cara mereka untuk bermula. Everybody seboleh-bolehnya inginkan perubahan yang positif untuk diri mereka, but I don't think everyone inginkan positivity perubahan untuk orang lain terlebih dahulu, because orang ramai tak suka ditinggalkan. So if you start a journey of kesihatan, mereka takut anda meninggalkan mereka di tempat yang mereka sedang duduki. So they will try and always pull you back to their place. So kesihanilah mereka, but you have to use that as your positivity, your fire untuk kekalkan your perjuangan. And then one day, once you dah kekalkannya, it will come and find you. But you cannot memaksa orang untuk menyokong your journey. It is your journey first. If they come, so be it later, but you cannot memaksa. Beres. All right. So with that, I think we're done for tonight. Thank you so much for joining me. If you have sebarang pertanyaan yang lain yang tak terjawab, again, join me next Tuesday, every Tuesday jam 8 malam. Or you can reach out to me via various platforms as well. I hope today was meaningful. Yeah, do share the session dengan kawan-kawan sekiranya anda belum kongsinya lagi. And jumpa anda lagi pada minggu depan. And for those in our program, see you guys tomorrow for our online Kahoot quiz nanti. Thank you so much. Assalamualaikum and have a great night. Bye.